Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Mike.
Hey, Zed.
Hey, T.
Let's talk about another beautiful love story.
Oh man.
I love stories like this, but I get a little choked up reading them.
Yeah.
Because I have this thing about like the soft spots for what is the theme of The Princess Bride? True love. We're talking about true love here, and we cover stories like this a lot where husband and wife they've been married for a long time, and they somehow die on the same day, and usually in close proximity to one another. Same case with this.
Well, this was very unique because I feel like both of them, they definitely knew that they were dying, and they were both prepared to die, and it was almost like they both knew that they were gonna, when one passed, the other one was gonna pass, and they even held off a little bit for their kids to join. So this is a little bit different from, I remember one of the saddest stories we did a few months ago was a couple who died, a mom and dad who got pushed in the same hospital bed, similar like this, but that was like out of the blue, where this is like, they were like, all right, we're both really sick, and luckily the hospital put them together, and then all the kids came in, all the grandparent kids came in, and of course they died within just like 5-6 hours of each other.
Well, this was Don and Margaret Livengood, who was 84, 80, and 80 years old respectively. Died hours apart. They're married for 59 years. 59 years. And what the guy said, this quote, this is some notebook moment right here. This is from the husband. When we get to heaven, we can walk in together, just like we're getting married again. Another honeymoon.
Dang.
That's some shivering, romantic, cheese stuff.
And they said this story was so touching that all the hospital workers were all like crying. Like all of them. They're like, oh my God, it's so sad. And then kudos to the hospital. They actually, the saddest thing is like when you can't put them together. Yeah. Like the story where people were in different assisted living homes, right? And or like another one where it was very difficult. So this sounded like it wasn't that big of a problem. So luckily they got to spend like a lot of time together before they went.
It's just really touching. I always feel like there's a special connection between certain couples, they're just meant, they came down together, I feel like, to be together. They're supposed to be together, and then when their time has come, they go together.
Their whole lives, they've been like very good people, brought their kids up really well. And at the end, they're like, yeah, well, we leave this planet together, we leave this life together, but we'll see each other again. It's really, really touching, really touching.
And what's most interesting is, like, so they've been ill for a long time, as you guys have said, because some of their grandchildren weren't living in the town they were at. So they were trying to make it in town in time to see them before they go. And it almost seemed like they weren't gonna make it, but somehow like something happened and they managed to hold off, and everyone got to say their goodbyes, and it was just really touching. Everything just kind of lined up for them, and I feel like the old couple got their last wishes,
This is like a classic soulmate story. In a world now where 50% of marriages ends in divorce, nobody believes in soulmates anymore, and everyone's like on Tinder, I don't know. So this to me is just so special. Yeah. It's almost like one of those like Hollywood weddings that last more than 10 years. You're like, oh, that happened.
Yeah. So that's amazing.
Yeah, but this is really awesome. So sorry to see them pass, but glad they passed together. In Dan's words, they perished.
They perished together.
So, but that's
which is actually the right usage for that word, by the way. It just doesn't sound.
Yo, they're not fruit.
the other video, he was like, I hope they get to perish together. And it was just like,
that
what?
They're not candy bars, man.
Oh man.
Dude. Anyway, so it's a sad and happy story, I guess.
Yeah.
One that really tugged at my tear ducts, if I had any. But let us know your thoughts on that story. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Later.